You might be wondering why some of my birds have been marked red. Why did I mark my birds red? Hi beautiful viewer, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for sticking by always, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more farming tips. I've marked some of my birds red because the challenge is coming to an end, because I'm selling off these birds. They have been booked. It's heartbreaking, but I have to sell them off because I can't get stuck with them forever. I'm going to miss them, I tell you. They have given me a lot of experience. The whole journey has been super. Some days were bumpy, some days were smooth, and so we are saying goodbye to our birds. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the daily management practices that I did. Today's the 38th day ever since I got these birds. I got them on 10th of October. Today is 14th of November, and I was able to achieve some level of success. And I'm just asking, if you attract me, if you look at these birds, and some have already been booked, considering these birds, how would you rate my challenge? Can you please rate my performance in this challenge? How did I perform? Out of 10, how did I perform? So let me share with you the very first practice that I believe gave me success in this challenge was inspection. I set up a time for myself. Of course, when the birds were younger, when they were, let's say, a week old, like from day 0 to 14 days, I was almost here 24/7. I reduced on sleep because I had to make sure that I kept monitoring my birds like every now and then. But even now, the first thing I do when I arrive in my chicken house is, first of all, before I open the door, I'm Muslim, I said Bismillah. I make some prayer. So I make prayer over my birds. I beseech the Creator to give my birds health, to give us health, and to make me benefit from these birds. So that's the first thing I do once I arrive in my chicken house, or something that I believe has given me success. Because honestly, I'm not bragging, but my birds didn't give me a lot of stress. After I'm done with my prayer, I come inside my chicken house, look at how the birds are responding to my presence. Right now, I hope you're seeing what they're doing. They're pecking on me, and my legs are super itchy. They are paining. They are all bruised because their beaks are now strong. So I look at their behavior. How are they responding to my presence? I check. I could literally go and check every bird. I check their stomach, I check their stomach to see if they have eaten or not. If there is no food in that bird's stomach, then I make sure if I put the feeds, it will be the first bird to be fed. The other thing I used to look out for was I could look at their poop. Is it normal poop? And then I could look at their litter. Does it need changing, or it's okay? Like for this one, I'm going to change it today because it has outlived its service. The levels of ammonia could affect my birds. So I would make sure I would inspect for such things. I would inspect the behavior of the birds. Are they oversleeping? Are they full? What could be the problem with them? So that's what I do. I look at the ventilation. Is the temperature in the chicken house okay? I could look at a lot of things. The lighting, do they need light, natural light, or they need an addition? I look at the feeders. After the inspection, everything is in order, the birds okay, and maybe they want to eat. I look at the water. I had a challenge. I'm looking at ways of how I can raise these drinkers. I've had the challenge of water pouring every time they got empty, especially in the night. So whenever I could walk in, these drinkers, all of them could be down. That brings me to my second practice of cleanliness. The number one reason why I believe women would do better at poultry farming, because a chicken house needs to be kept clean 24/7. I told you, whenever I could walk in, these drinkers were always down. So I clean them and I refill them with fresh water. I shuffle the beddings every time, But these ones have would outlive their service, so I'm going to share them today. So chauffeuring helps in the evaporation of the ammonia gas, which is down here, so that my birds stay healthy. It's a routine, you need to do it daily. The other practice that I kept up was keep my birds fed. I fed my birds from day 1 up to day 14. I fed them on pellets. Some people feed them 7 days, but I didn't know. Of course, if I knew, I would have cut, or the costs, I would have bought less than that. But I bought 25 kilograms of pellets, and they were enough for my 100 birds. Yeah, and when I told my supplier that I'd done that, she told me you did something very good. And let me tell you, I've made some mistakes in the feeds later, but because my birds, they fed well when they were young, they were not so much affected because I fed them on pellets for 14 days. So it was like something I did in ignorance, but it was something I would recommend. Feed your birds day 1 up to day 14, feed them on pellets. Sacrifice and you'll not regret it. So I feed my birds 3 times a day. I feed them right now because they are mature. I feed them at 7. Next refill will be at 1 o'clock, and then the next refill will be at 6 o'clock. And that's how I've maintained it. I put 2 kilograms in the morning, 2 kilograms in the afternoon, 2 kilograms in the evening. But if I realize that they have eaten a lot and the feeders are empty, I still refill it because they have to keep eating. So, and I made sure that I feed them on quality feeds. I asked my supplier, I asked those people, because not so many people can lie about the same thing. If so many are talking about the same thing, it means that's not a lie. So the other practice that I did was I ensured biosecurity. Let me tell you, I was crazy. The whole farm was being managed by only me. Literally no one was allowed in here. The birds would rather go hungry other than allowing anyone else in this chicken house. It's not that I didn't need help. I needed help, especially in the beginning days when I was brooding. But look, I was in a class. I was learning. You know, I had to make sure that I said these things with authority when I have achieved success. Biosecurity is very important. I was wearing my gumboots wherever I enter inside. And now I have an overcoat called Mifridaus CMF. Make sure you have subscribed. Let me tell you, I didn't allow anyone to come in here because I needed notes. I needed evidence. I needed to show success. I needed to show you people that it really worked. Like I told you, I didn't buy medicine for my birds. The only thing I remember buying was a multivitamin, Aminovet, and then some antibiotic called capsule. I bought it because it was just anxiety. My birds were not sick. They were just, it was about me. I was worried, maybe they're not eating well. I didn't want to lose any chicken. I was like, I must work. This must work. I must achieve this. So because I was nervous, I was anxious, I ended up buying that multivitamin and then that antibiotic. But my birds didn't need it anyway. What else made me successful in this challenge? You will not believe it. I mentioned I didn't buy medicine, but it doesn't mean I wasn't giving my birds anything. I was giving my birds herbs. I gave my birds aloe vera. I gave my birds garlic. I gave my birds, what else? Bitter leaf, omululuza. We call it omululuza in Uganda. In Usoga, we call it olubirizi. I don't know about other languages in Uganda, how they call it. There is a bird I lost the last time. So when I tried to ask the farmers, you know, they told me that maybe it could be coccidiosis. And now I was broke. I was literally broke. I didn't have money for medicine. I can't keep spending money on these birds because I'm spending money for their feeds. I can't keep spending money on for medicine. So what I did, I made them a concoction. I mixed mululuza, that's bitter leaf. I put there garlic and ginger, and I gave them. At first, they didn't want to eat it, to drink the water because it was green. By the way, if you're giving your birds water, make sure it's clear and it doesn't have another taste. It should be tasteless. So when I gave them, at first they refused to drink. I gave them oral and they had it and they recovered. They recovered because I don't know if it was really coccidiosis or I don't know what it was, but I gave them. And from then onwards, I kept giving them like every day. Every day I put an herb. If today I put bitter leaf, tomorrow I'll put garlic. The other day I'll put aloe vera. The other day, like any herb that you'd think of. That's so important because I was using these herbs with my lock chickens. So I also put some charcoal dust in their food. I'm telling you, I did a lot of things with these these birds. Much as I was experimenting on them, but they really work. And it's one practice. Using herbs, organic herbs, in the feeding of these birds or in the diet of these birds will boost their immunity, and of course they will not fall sick all the time. For those ones who would love to know about the measurements of these herbs, kindly leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll give you the description, or I'll do a video describing, telling you the prescriptions and amounts of herbs you can use with your broiler chickens. The other practice, I'm an inquisitive person. I asked a lot of questions. Wherever I could go, I asked. In the car, if you talk about chicken business, I ask questions. At home, if you know anything about poultry, I'll ask, and I acted ignorant, like I didn't know anything about poultry farming. So I asked, I gathered as much information as possible. I asked the people I bought feeds from. I was asking everyone, I was asking questions because I was worried. I didn't want to fail, I wanted to be successful. And through these questions, I got a lot of answers. Here is the result. That's how I managed to get knowledge for the successful raising of my birds, and I'm proud of myself that this challenge is coming to an end, but it's just the beginning of a new era. So these are some of the best practices I kept monitoring. Literally, at home, they forgot about me. I was always here, 24/7, looking at them. I didn't ignore them at any second. I was monitoring them. Are they happy? What's happening to them? I was asking questions, asking Google, like every now and then. And I think some people even stopped answering me because they were fed up of my questions. It's been quite a learning experience. I've learned a lot, and I feel like I'm an expert. And of course, I'm going to do the stocking very soon. One thing I would advise, kindly reach out to other people for help. When you're doing this, don't do it alone. The other thing I would advise, if you want to learn, get started. You can only learn once you get started. And of course, be patient. Right now, someone asked me how much I'm going to gain from these birds. I don't think I will be making any profit from them, but I'm not giving up yet. So that's it. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. We are selling off some birds, and I'll be documenting. They're going away. I'm super sad, but we still have some more that are left. A few more, not so many of them that will be left. Stick by for more challenges on my channel, but also for more farming tips.